It's Sunday, August 13th, 2023. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Please make sure to like this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you want to support the message, support the channel, please make sure to subscribe and share my videos all over your social media. But without further ado, I want to get right into this. A couple interesting articles I printed out today that I want to share with all of you, and please feel free to comment down below. It's so important that you comment because you are waking up so many people. Thousands upon thousands of people read those comments, and you've woken up so many people. This first article from CNBC: when student loan payments resume, 56% of borrowers say they'll have to choose between their debt and buying groceries. Now, we've been told that everything's fine. We've been told that the economy is doing very, very well. We're told that the consumer is strong. But we have a real dilemma here when 56% of borrowers of student loans say that they're going to have to make a choice here of paying their debt or eating. That does not sound like a very strong consumer or a very good economy. Interest accruals resume September 1st, and payments will be due in October for the first time in over 3 years. And my question goes out to all of you. What have these people that owe this money been doing for the past 3 years? Now all of a sudden, they may not be able to eat. They may not be able to make their car payment. They may not be able to survive. What in the world were these people doing over the last 3+ years while they weren't paying their bills? Maybe they should have got an extra job. Maybe they should have got a job. Maybe they should have saved their money, not went out and bought a new Challenger or Charger. Maybe they shouldn't have been going out to dinner every weekend or going to the bars. I don't know. But somewhere along the line, these people should have made a sacrifice because the bills are coming due. Now, more than likely, they thought that you and I would pay this off and they would never be responsible for this debt. But unfortunately, that backfired, and now they're going to have to pay the piper. And unfortunately, we're going to see, I think, some implications here in the U.S. economy when these people, 43 million people now, on average, are going to have to make a $500 payment every month. That's money that's not going to be going to Nordstrom's or Marshall's or Kohl's or to the local restaurants or bars or Las Vegas, etc. So I think we're going to see this wreak some havoc in the U.S. economy. It's also going to wreak havoc on the borrowers' budgets, because if you're in a situation where you have to pay $500 towards your student loan debt, and if you do that, you can't eat, you're in big trouble. You really, really are. So, you know, again, as I said earlier, we've been told that the economy is doing very well. We're told that the consumer is strong. I guess everything is fine when nobody's paying their bills. When the consumer is strong, as long as the consumer doesn't have to pay their obligations. When they, you know, when they have moratoriums for rent and autos and student loan debt and all these moratoriums, I guess everybody is doing fine as long as nobody's paying their bills. 68% of borrowers making less than $50,000 will have to choose between payments or food. Let me repeat this. 68% of borrowers who make less than $50,000 a year are going to have to make a very, very serious choice here. So I guess it's time to get a side hustle. You know, again, I don't know what these people were doing for the past 3 years, other than probably just hoping and praying that we're not going to have to pay this debt back. But nothing's free, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time to pay the piper here. Bloomberg: even celebrity realtors feel the pinch as Los Angeles mansion sales fall. This, to me, is another indication of a failing real estate market, housing market. There's a company in LA called The Agency. They said that their transaction volumes this year are down 25%. Mauricio Umansky, CEO of The Agency, says the housing market is now in recession. So I got to give him credit for being honest about that. But if you're selling property in Los Angeles, especially luxury real estate, you're dealing with a couple problems here, some dilemmas. Rising interest rates, that's a problem. The mansion tax. Any property sold Over $5 million is subject to a, I believe it's 4.5% tax. Any property sold $10 million or above $10 million is subject to a 5.5% tax. So that's not helping matters either. Of course, we also have some other problems in Los Angeles. That's the homeless epidemic. We have a crime epidemic. And of course, we have a very, very bad economy taking place. And so none of this is going to help Los Angeles real estate. It's not going to help luxury real estate. And it's not just happening in Beverly Hills, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening all across America. But again, these are all factors that are contributing to a failing real estate market. And when we get into more, of the average price real estate, if we look at, $400,000 or $500,000 homes, you've got some factors playing out there. That's job security, or people losing jobs. Inflation is really affecting these people. Inflation may not affect people buying a $10 or $20 or $30 million home, but mansion taxes do. Homeless people plopping tents in your front yard, that does. Crime, a bad economy, that all affects luxury real estate. But when we're talking, the average property in America, $400,000, inflation is a huge problem. Job security, huge problem. A lot of people are beginning to ask, am I going to have a job next week or next year? Should I buy a $400,000 house and be obligated to payments if I don't know if I'm going to have a job? So we got some real headwinds to face here. Sales of homes priced over $10 million, this is in Los Angeles County, fell 44%. So sales of homes in the LA area that are over $10 million, those sales have fallen 44% in the first half of this year. Brentwood, beautiful area. Brentwood sales are down 63%. Beverly Hills sales down 43%. This is staggering. I don't know. I think we'd probably have to go back to the 2008 financial crisis to see numbers even close to this, and I don't even know if they would be this bad. But this is a real canary in the coal mine here. Now, shifting gears a little bit, my good friend Matt sent me an article this morning, and I was completely unaware of this. And Matt will be on the show in a few weeks. We're going to be heading to Texas to see Aaron of Texas Silver. And so we'll be there for a week or two. We're not sure how long we'll be there, but we have a lot to talk about. Matt has a lot to talk about. Aaron has a lot to talk about. Hopefully, we're all going to be going with some friends to the Silver Symposium in Las Vegas at the end of September, but we'll see. I know Matt's already got a ticket. Aaron wants to go really bad. I've got to check my calendar and see if I can make it, but we're going to try to make the Silver Symposium. I think that'll be really, really interesting. But Matt sent me this article from ITM.com, and this was reported back in May. Now, I was not aware of this, but now I am, and I think that this really kind of draws into everything we're talking about right here with the economy. Disney is axing the $1 billion Lake Nona and Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. So that's being axed. However, now this is where it gets interesting, because this really affects my neck of the woods here in Palm Desert, California, here in the Coachella Valley. There is one other major undertaking being announced by the CEO, Bob Chapek, and that is now this project now on the chopping block. It's called Story Living by Disney. It's located literally 5 minutes from making this video, right down there, 5 minutes. It's called Story Living by Disney. Rancho Mirage, California. This is the development. I flew the drone over, spoke about it a few times. This is the 800-acre project that Disney has broken ground on. They're putting the infrastructure in right now. They just dug out the 26-acre lagoon they plan on putting in. $1 million homes, big hotel, clubhouse, restaurants, shopping, you name it. This is a huge, huge project, and now this may be on the chopping block. So if this happens, this to me will be a huge warning to what is happening in the U.S. economy and what's happening in real estate. Because think about why they're now thinking about putting this one on the chopping block. They're thinking about the demand. Who's going to want to come to this? Who's going to want to spend millions of dollars on a home, Disney themed, and spend millions of dollars? And can they sustain this this world of Disney out here in the middle of the desert at these prices? And I think they're having second thoughts, and now this potentially could be the next project on the chopping block, according to Bob Chapek, CEO of Disney. So that's very, very interesting. And I said it 6 months ago, I'd be shocked if they went through with this project. They've already spent millions of dollars. They probably already have $100 million in this project with the infrastructure. They put a wall around this 800 acres. They're working on it. They're putting the sewers in right now. They've done a lot of grading. They're in this thing for 100 mil right now. But they've got to be thinking, a 100 mil haircut is a lot better than a $1 billion haircut. So I'll let you know how that transpires. But very interesting, especially when it's 5 minutes from your home. It's Disney. And now they're getting cold feet and hesitant now to move further. So we'll see how it plays out. The hedge today, downtown San Francisco office tower sells at 66% off as commercial real estate crisis claims another victim. This building at 60 Spear Street, 11-story building, 30% occupied. I believe by 2025 there is going to be no occupancy there. Leases will be up. It's been sold to Presidio Bay Ventures for $40.9 million. That's a 66% discount. The most recent assessed value was $121 million. Now, as many of you already know, Westfield abandoned the largest shopping mall in San Francisco. We've had 2 major hotels default. I think that was about $1.3 billion they defaulted on in those hotels. So, you know, we're seeing this happen in some of the most expensive real estate in the world, San Francisco, and we're watching some of the most beautiful cities, some of the most expensive cities fall to drugs, crime, and a faltering economy. Commercial real estate is going to take down so many banks, ladies and gentlemen, so many investors. It is a ticking time bomb, and we're beginning to see the cracks. 66% off right now in stable times. What does this look like a year from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 18 months from now? What is going to be the price of all this commercial real estate? And we know that 70% of the loans were made by these smaller regional banks. What about pensions? What about the banks, the regional banks? What about investment companies that invested in this commercial real estate that are going to take 66% losses and much, much higher? I think that if we're seeing 66% losses right now, and we've seen many at 40, 50% earlier, it can only get worse. And these investors and these banks are going to get absolutely decimated. Here's another one from CNN. U.S. inflation means families are spending $709 more per month than 2 years ago. So right now, in this past July, CNN says that the average household spent $709 more than the previous July 2 years ago. And they get this from Moody's. So CNN reporting some reality here. God bless CNN, God bless America, but this is horrible. Think about you know what $709 a month means to the average household. Now maybe you make $100,000 a year. Maybe you're single, you make $80,000 a year. Maybe you make $1 million a year. Maybe you live in Newport Beach. Maybe you live in Malibu. Maybe you're living in Beverly Hills, and $709 is dinner for you and your family. But let me tell you, to the average U.S. family, $709 in a month is a big deal. It's a life changer. And this is unsustainable. Families cannot continue to do this. They cannot save money. They're tapping into retirements. They're tapping into savings. They're going to credit cards. And it's putting people in a really, really bad situation here. And so if $709 a month doesn't mean anything to you, God bless you. You should be on your hands and knees tonight thanking God, because you're a very, very blessed individual. You're a very blessed family. But to the average person, $709 is huge. It is a game changer, and they're struggling to come up with this money. Many are going into debt to come up with this $709, and most Americans cannot continue doing this. So it's going to get much worse, unfortunately. It really, really is. So as we've said in the past, it's all about skills. It's about mental mindset. It's about working the extra side hustles. It's about working not just harder, but working smarter. And hopefully this isn't going to last forever, but I think we're going to have a few really bad years. DailyMail.com. Shocking scenes in Los Angeles as homeless on the streets, sleep in tents, littered downtown area, hawkers sell stolen goods. You know, we talk daily about what's happening financially. I'm trying to talk a little bit more daily with all of you what's happening socially, because you have to be prepared for this social destruction, not just the financial destruction. Pardon me if you hear Nugget, she's going crazy back here, but you got to be prepared for what's happening socially. We're going to see more desperation. We're going to see more people turning to drug use, suicide, crime. And that means, you know, there's potential that a lot of these people may be heading into your areas, wanting to come to your house, and you may at some point have to deal with these people. So you have to be aware of the dangers, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just going to be financial. People are going to go hungry. People have addictions, and they need money or they need items in order to support their lifestyles, their drugs, or just to eat. When people get desperate for drugs and they get desperate for food, they're coming to your house, and I hope that you understand that. And so I want everybody to take this message seriously. Make sure you have security, beef up the cameras, make sure you have a dog, a big dog, a little dog. I prefer, right now, we don't have a big dog, but the big dogs are coming on the move. And so, which I'll be filming that too. When I begin to look for dogs, serious dogs to do security, I will make sure that we're filming that you're part of that. But getting back to this article, 80,000 people in LA County are unhoused. I think that's a very, very conservative number. The city of Los Angeles, the downtown city, has over 46,000 people living on the streets. So think about what's going on. We've been down there multiple times to Skid Row and some of the parks and just different parts of LA and film that. And I need to get back there and film that for all of you. But you see what's going on, the dangers. You want to see what's happening, why people don't want to buy multi-million-dollar homes in LA like they used to. You want to see why businesses are fleeing Los Angeles and San Francisco. Take a look at what is going on the streets of Los Angeles, and it's only getting worse. So it's such a shame. It really is. It's a shame that people who have addictions, who have mental disorders, are not getting help, that they're not being taken off the streets and put somewhere safe, where the public is safe, where they're safe, and where we just have a city that is cleaner and safer for everybody. Business owners, to the people that live there, to the citizens, and to the people that need help. I think we have a duty to everybody that we help these people, we get them off the streets for everybody's safety. And look who just showed up. Come here, come here. Look at this thing. So there's Nudge. It's all over the place here today. We got a storm coming in here, so it's cooled down a little bit, but she's thirsty. She wants to go for a swim. You want to go for a swim? Okay. But, and remember, make sure you're taking care of your pets, ladies and gentlemen. It's been hot. Make sure they have plenty of water. Make sure you're putting some food away from them. Heaven forbid the power goes down, anything happens, and you don't want to leave the house. Make sure you have extra food for the little guys. The Hedge. Thieves in lawless California use forklift to steal ATM. This happened about a week ago, but I wanted to touch on this article. North Highlands, California. This is Sacramento County. This is just absolutely insane. They get a commercial grade forklift. They pick up this big ATM. They drop it on, looks like an F-250 Ford, and drive off. Well, the thing falls off the truck somewhere down the road, and they just leave it and keep going. This is where we're living. This is Mad Max Thunderdome, ladies and gentlemen. And if you think that you're going to skip through life, you're going to skip through this depression and not have to deal with this socially, you are sadly mistaken. Again, there are two types of people: prepared and unprepared. And if you pick to be an unprepared person in this environment and what's coming, I feel sorry for you. I really, really do. You're going to be dealing with some really evil people, unfortunately. But I hope that you never do. I pray to God that you never have to. but the likelihood increases daily that more people are being released from the prisons, the addictions become more and more severe, the crime is becoming more severe, the penalties are lessened, and so it's almost being rewarded. So what do you think that the likelihood is? You may have to deal with this at some point while you're driving, while you're at a store, while you're at your house, while you're walking around the block, while you're at the beach. I mean, you don't know who you're walking around. You don't know who's in your environment now. There are so many people walking free now that shouldn't be. And there are so many people who are just pure out evil that don't care about human life. They don't have respect for law. They don't have respect for your life. They don't have respect for your family. They have no respect for not even themselves. So they could give you know what about you. So make sure that you're taking the necessary preparations in order to avoid this or to have to deal with it. Dozens of thieves ransack Nordstrom at Canoga Park Mall. This was absolutely disgusting. I watched this one last night. In fact, this just happened yesterday. Shocking video. 30 to 50 people around a little bit after 4 p.m. run into this Nordstrom's, ransack the entire place, destroy it, and run out with around $100,000 in merchandise. This is where we're living, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're at. And this is happening in California. It's happening in New York. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in Philadelphia. It's happening everywhere. And so, you know, what if you're in the middle of this? What if you have your little kids and you're in the middle of this and somebody, you know, wants to hurt your family? Are you prepared to deal with this? And I'm only out here asking questions. I'm trying to just open everybody's mind to at least think. You can prepare any way you want to prepare. I can't tell you how to prepare. I can't tell you to prepare. I just hope and pray that every one of you is at least opening up your mind and thinking about, you know, if you were put in this situation financially, if you're put in this situation socially, that you're at least thinking about the possibilities of how things can change very, very quickly. The potential that the electricity went out tomorrow and was off for a week. What would you do? Could you eat? Could you sleep? Could you protect your house? These are all the things we all have to be thinking about right now, because the potential for this has become very real, ladies and gentlemen. And it's getting more and more real by the day. So when I make these videos, you can do whatever you want. You can laugh if you want. You can ignore it if you want. But I hope that some of you are really thinking about a lot of these situations and putting yourself in these situations and asking yourself, what would you do? Are you prepared to deal with it? Could you survive it? Would your kids survive it? Do you have a plan? Do you have the mindset? It's not all about a can of beans and a water filtration straw, ladies and gentlemen. It's much deeper than that. It's going to be, you're going to need a lot more than that. And first off, the first thing we can all do is start by at least admitting that we got big problems in this country and that we need to take action. Because once you finally admit that there's problems, you take action. I'm going to leave it there today. Have a great weekend. I pray to God that all of you are thinking, and I pray that you're all beginning to take action. God bless. Have a great day.